Hey everyone, my name is Penny Zanker, and it's time to reset. This podcast goes beyond just navigating change. It's about new ways of thinking about how you can approach challenges, how you can shift your mindset when needed, create some space and grace for yourself so that you can rethink, recharge, and reprioritize when and where needed. Are you ready to unlock your full potential? Thank you for hitting play and sharing this next episode with me. It's time to reset. Hello, and welcome to Take Back Time. My name is Penny Zanker, and I'm your host. And welcome to today's solo. We're going to start a couple of solo sessions where it's just me talking about what's on my mind, a story that occurred recently, and just more insights into the reset mindset and how that can help you to take back time, take back focus, take back control of the things that you actually can control. And so I'm excited to start this series. Before we do that, I just want to celebrate with you. I got the information yesterday that I was ranked number 26 on USA Today's national bestseller list. And so I'm super excited about that. Thank you for your support. Thank you for reaching out, for buying the book, for all the reviews that are coming in now on Amazon. And if you haven't bought the book yet, now's your chance to get it in September, because when you buy the hard copy, you're going to get access when you go to my website, theresetmindset.net. And you go there and you put in your purchase code, you're going to get access to my learning center, which gives you access to all formats of the book, audio as well as the Kindle and PDF. But it's also going to give you a lot of supplemental content that's not in the book that I've been working on that really is exciting and further developing and helping you to implement directly. So you definitely want to check that out. Go into Amazon also and check out the other reviews to really see the impact that it's making for people and to see what kind of impact it can make for you too. And one of the things that I want to share about it for the month of September for this launch process is also some of the proceeds are going to childhood cancer, because it is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And it just breaks my heart to hear that families are struggling and their children are struggling for their lives, and in many cases have lost their lives. And so I really wanted to give back in some way. And so one of the great ways that I could do that, which I think is connected also to a reset, when we can invest in research and, exploring ways that we can understand cancer and various different types of cancer better, so then we can find solutions. And those solutions, that research goes into helping those families to reset, to get a second chance. So it's only for the month of September, because that's when the bulk of the books are coming in. Please, I have a goal of a minimum of $20,000 that I'll be donating, but that depends on you and how many books are sold during this period. I do have targeted another 5,000 books to sell. So also, it's not just good for you as an individual, but this is good if you run a team or you do events, right? Let's put the book into everyone's hands so that the reset mindset isn't just something we do for ourselves, but it's something that we can integrate into our culture, so that not only are you dynamic in the way that you handle change, challenge, and uncertainty, but those around you can be more dynamic. So with that said, go check it out. Go get your book. You can go to theresetmindset.net and get it there. So today I want to kind of stick with that theme of, understanding situations like childhood cancer. When we think of a reset, we think of a fresh start, beginning again. And what I want to say here is that there are some life experiences and challenges that are so painful, right? That no shift in perspective or boost in energy is going to change the reality of the situation, like childhood cancer. And, a terminal diagnosis of a child, or even for yourself, they really aren't the same. And I'm not trying to say that they're the same as the everyday challenges that some people might be facing, right? These are impossible situations. So but I do still believe that a reset mindset and using these reset moments can still be of advantage no matter what circumstance you are working through. The idea behind the reset mindset, it isn't about fixing or changing what can't be changed. It's about how we approach those changes and about creating space to find meaning, to find peace, to find resilience. And even in the face of these overwhelming hardships, to be able to find these moments and help us get through just a little easier, not easy, but easier, these impossible situations. So these reset moments, for instance, they can help us create space for acceptance. Because one of the things that often happens, and it's one of the stages of grief, is that we resist it and we get angry and we fight it, and that's exhausting. So we could use these reset moments to allow us to pause in amidst of that overwhelm and make it not about changing the facts, but just creating space to process those emotions. It might be to let it out, to acknowledge it for what it really is, and then to be able to come to terms with what's happening. So in that stepping back, in that reset moment, we can give ourselves permission to acknowledge the pain, the confusion, the fear without judgment. Acceptance doesn't mean that you have to like what's happening or even understand why it's happening, because that's the worst rabbit hole to get down. And I do give a story in my book about that. Number two is those reset moments can help us to also not feel alone. It might be an opportunity for us to connect with others that have been through this situation or are currently going through this situation. There was a post that I did, when was that? There was a post that I did on LinkedIn some time ago about an organization called Kindly Human that I had come across while I was speaking at an event. Someone came up to me afterwards and was telling me about it, and I had never heard of it before. But basically, it's an organization that connects you with other peers and colleagues like yourself that are going through a similar situation. And in their studies, they showed that 97% of people actually feel better after being with these peer listeners. They're there to listen, but it's different when you know that someone has gone through it. You know, this has nothing to do with the same example, but this is what popped into my head. Like, I went to see a child psychologist to talk about some of the challenges that my children were going through when they were 1 and 3, and I was contemplating a divorce process. And I felt much more credible if I spoke to someone who actually had children and understood how I feel in the communication and interaction with my children, as well as how the children might feel. So not just from a psychological perspective, but I felt more understood. And so that was important to me that I chose somebody who had a similar background. And the same is true when I was going through divorce and we were going to talk to somebody about, how we could work it out or not work it out or whatever. It was important to me that someone had been through divorce themselves so that they could understand how I felt. So maybe you can relate with that as well. So that other value of the reset moment and a reset practice is to help you in the moment just understand that you're not alone and let a collective share your pain so that you can be just a little bit lighter for a moment. Another value that it can bring is reframing the meaning, not the situation. Right? It's not about trying to think positively. I want to make sure that you understand that reframing the meaning doesn't mean, oh, this will all turn out, or that there's always a silver lining in that case, because that can be harmful. That's not really what we're saying. Because it's not about shifting perspective to make the situation seem better, but it's more about finding meaning in the pain and the loss. The reset practice, they don't ask us to reframe the situation itself, but to explore what it means to us and what we can do with this meaning. And I share a story about this in the book when my father died in an accident when I was 19. I believe when we make space for this meaning making, even in the hardest times, it allows us to process our grief and move our way through the hardship with the reality of the situation, but also with a little bit more inner peace, if that makes sense. And then lastly, I guess I'll say is that it's also about helping you to manage that emotional overload with smaller steps. Because in those moments, you don't know how you're going to get through it. We're easily able to get emotionally paralyzed in, the magnitude of the situation and the pain. But reset moments, they help us break it down a little bit and just focus on what's next. To manage it in small pieces, one reset moment at a time. So I just want to bring your attention to Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. If this is a cause that's meaningful to you, then I encourage you to either give directly. I'll put the link directly to the donation page that I've created, or to create a win-win. Go ahead and get a book for yourself, get one for a friend, get one for your boss, and let's get the message out and join the reset revolution so that we can take back our focus, take back our inner peace, and control the things that we can control and allow ourselves to let go of the things that we can't control. So thank you so much for being here. Go to the resetmindset.net and get your copy today. My name is Penny Zanker, and this is Take Back Time. We'll see you in the next episode. Hey, thank you for spending this time with me. It really means a lot. If you're feeling a little off, distracted, overwhelmed, stuck, or just out of sync, remember that's your signal to reset. And that's all it takes, just recognizing one reset moment at a time. So stay tuned for more tips, tools, tricks, stories, strategies, all here on Time to Reset. We'll see you in the next episode.